Hello and welcome back to Strong Woman Highs - Life is a Mishmash. This time with the KLC Strongcast. It is a podcast carryover. Apologies for my voice. It's not back. I'm still a little bit poorly. Ash sounds like he has some form of, I don't know, scary animal running around downstairs. So welcome to the show, guys.
He's lying
Thank
down
you
now.
for-
He's lying down.
Thank you for having us. This is going to be a perfect illustration as to why it's Strong Woman Highs and you only have strong women athletes on.
We're
The
all
fact that
idiots.
we are representative of strongman as a whole, just three
Oh
idiots.
no.
That's
That's bad.
not good. This is what
Oh, no.
listeners to the podcast will be like, oh, wow, they've finally got some strong men on the show. This will be really interesting. Listen to this episode and be like, we'll stick to the strong woman side, guys. No, thanks. Nah, it's special guest, though, because the only other man that's been on this podcast is my husband. So you are the second official men on this podcast, but the first official men on this podcast of the new format. So very exciting times. So we're here today because we're going to do a little episode for Men's Mental Health Day, which is on the 19th of November. So this is when this episode will be airing as well. So we thought we'd do same sort of format podcast for Strong Woman Highs, but we'll obviously do it with the KLC Strongcast. So we'll get straight into it because we all know who you are. And if you don't, then you need to listen to the KLC Strongcast and find out who they all are. But let's just do what has been your strong man highs. Danny, would you like to go first?
Yes, thank you for asking. I was thinking about this and
Come on, this is a serious podcast.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments in my entire time within the sport was the UKNS weekend that you and I commentated together, Becca.
Oh yeah.
That epic shift. 24 hours of commentary in 48 hours. Well, you did 24 hours. I only did 23 because I ducked out for one event because I was trying to, people probably don't know this, but I was trying to convince you to stop and leave because
Why?
I was done. My brain was absolutely fried. And I was like, we could probably just duck out for the afternoon competition on the Sunday. And you were like, nope, I'm here, I'm staying. And so, but no, that was a really cool weekend. We saw lots of really cool stuff. And what is awesome about it is it's been referenced quite a few times on this very podcast. So it's just so cool that what we were saying has stayed with some of those athletes for all that time. So
Oh,
yeah,
I
that's
totally
definitely.
agree. Yeah, it was a really good weekend. I really enjoyed that. I do remember you ducking out. Did they replace you with somebody? I can't remember who came on instead. Was it John Mallon
Yes.
or
Yes,
somebody?
that's it.
Yeah. No, I do remember that. I feel like I thought that if I stopped, I just wouldn't be able to start again. So I had to just battle through to the very end. But I do regret it because that last hour was hard work, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was an open men's athlete who had a minor shorts malfunction. It wasn't really even much of a malfunction. I think it's just whenever he bent over, the shorts sort of weren't doing the job they were supposed to do, and it just it was right in front.
Was it?
No, it was right in front of the camera at
Twins
exactly
athlete.
the wrong time. And yeah, I think that was one of the only times that we cracked. Well, we couldn't, both of us. We tried so hard.
I feel
But
like
by
that
that
was the
point-
one time, yeah, I made one of the best jokes I've ever made about there being a full moon because it was also dark outside at that point as well. And I was so
Yeah.
proud of myself, but I was so tired I couldn't really enjoy it that much.
That must have been knackering. Surely, after a few hours, you just don't really care anymore.
I don't know. It was. I think we did still care because there was it's still exciting stuff going on, wasn't there? But yeah, it
Yeah.
was. It started to drag a little bit, we'll say. There should have maybe been some other commentators we could have like relayed in with, so it wasn't just us the entire time. And I imagine whoever was watching that live stream for the full 24 hours was probably pretty sick of us by the end of it.
There was a couple though. There were a few people that were messaging in saying that they were the part of the long shift crew or long haul
Yeah.
crew, or so
Yeah,
it's
people stuck with it.
and I mean it's a pretty cool thing to brag that you were commentator for that long and
Hell
you
yeah.
managed it
Like
and survived.
like an endurance type challenge. Just
Mm.
how long can you talk for? It might be
Yeah.
like this episode of Strong Woman Eyes, to be fair. No, right. Well, on that note, we'll move on. Andrew, what's been your strongman high?
Oh, here we go. Fucking hell.
I've got 2.
Hours to tell
Um,
us.
By the way, have you two coordinated here? Are you expecting this video to get loads of views? Because you've gone well in with the personal branding on your t-shirts. Is there some kind of... Why have you done this?
Well,
They
I
knew they were
absolutely
They were getting
changed.
filmed.
I absolutely changed from earlier because I knew we were doing another podcast today. We spoilers, we recorded our own podcast a little earlier today, and I didn't want to be wearing the same stuff. I said, although I suppose I'll wear this t-shirt, not this specific one. I have many, like every day. But yeah, no, it's a deliberate choice. You know, when you don't have a real job, you've got to do what you can to market yourself.
This is purely a coincidence. I have no care on any of my branding anymore.
Okay, anyway,
This is
sorry
marketing
for
advice.
distracting. So mine is feels like a really obvious one, but winning UKNS. It was just a real like I remember getting the final event, getting the stone over, and just like realizing that I'd done it, and it was just epic. And I just remember thinking, I've done it. I've just done what I wanted to, and it felt amazing.
Hell yeah. I can
So-
relate to that. I can absolutely relate to that. Not sure Danny and Ash can burn, but
Hey. Oh, there's no need for that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Man. I feel like I've lost
Excuse me,
track. I know
Danny-
this
Danny
is for men's
was
mental
the-
health, but
Danny was the under 80 Southern UKNS champion about 8 years
Thank you.
ago. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes.
And you were third at
was
Whatever
the
it was
UKNS a
recently.
thing 8 years ago.
I was maybe exaggerating that bit. 3 years ago.
And but
Amazing.
it's second one, just quickly, is the KLC Strongcast. As much as these two take the piss, I'm genuinely proud that we have done a podcast that has created this community that so many people are part of, that I genuinely proud to be in.
Yeah, 100%.
God, he's
I
not
really-
as
no,
he's different from his podcast
I like
persona.
that. I do like that one as well, because I totally agree. I found the same thing with Strong Woman Highs, the community that you build with like something stupid as well that we all think is a bit silly, and we're like, oh, just here like having a bit of a laugh, having a bit of a nice time. But the impact it makes on the wider community is just mint when you see it like in real life, or people come up to you and say, oh, I've listened to all your episodes, like really enjoy them. It's just like, it does make you feel so like nice and warm and fuzzy inside, doesn't it?
Totally agree.
Yeah, I love that. Right, Ash, what's your strongman high?
Well, unfortunately, old Keys there is. I know actually, no, it was you that said that. I haven't really got a competition win I can draw upon. Unless it's Northampton's strongest novice or something.
I mean, you can use that if you want.
No. For me, probably come into the strongman low, I guess, but last year at Hampshire's, because when I did my knee, yes, I'm going to mention my knee. I'm sure the other two will be annoyed at that. I really thought there was a point where I probably wasn't going to compete again, because it was pretty bad. And entered Hampshire's, and then I was a bit wary about the stone run at the end. And then if you've all seen Richard, when he did his knee, lifting a stone, doing a stone load, I was really worried about the 140 kilo at the end. And I thought, I probably won't get it. I'll do the 70, 80, 90, 100, whatever the rest of them were. But I got to the 140 and took a second. But long story short, look, I loaded it, very happy with myself. And I just realised then actually you can come back and compete at a relatively decent level. I was buzzing with that moment because I think a lot of the lads in that category as well didn't even do it that last
Yeah.
time. So that was a big high for me, especially after being injured.
Class. Is it at that point, did you feel like, yeah, I'm back, strongman's all right again, like I can do this
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, it was good to be back to being very average. Yeah, it was. I was back to competing properly, and
Yeah.
that was a big thing for me because genuinely didn't think I'd come back to doing strongman or, to be honest with you, even running properly, let alone doing anything like that. So yeah, big high for me.
Absolutely. I'll give it to you. ACL like surgery is really, really intense. I don't think people realize how like intense it actually is. And it's like a big injury to come back from as well in a sport that's this demanding too. So like it's fair props for doing it. I know we all rinse you about it all the time, but like it is fair props for coming back from that type of injury, 100%.
Yeah, cheers.
Awesome. Well, I loved all those strongman highs. Thanks, guys. Let's ruin the good mood then and go on to the strongman lows. So we'll start with you again, Danny. What's been your strongman low?
The strongman low is probably something that I'm working through at the minute. And so I've been talking to Amelia, Cerebral Wellbeing, for the past 6 weeks or so now. And it literally started because I want to start playing gigs again. I am Britain's strongest drummer. Hello. But I was going to a gig in 2023 in Bristol, and I had the most horrific journey. And it dawned on me afterwards that I had a full-blown panic attack. And I thought I was having a panic. I thought the reason for the panic attack was I was worried about leaving my dog at home. So I 2 years pass, and I decide I want to start playing gigs again. So I get into Amelia and just be like, look, I need to work out how to not worry about the dog. And anyway, through talking with her, it's unlocked all sorts of stuff. We're talking about men's mental health, right? She asked me to do a task that was a stream of consciousness typing, a stream of consciousness writing. So literally just think it, type it, how you feel about yourself. And I started typing, and I realized that in every aspect of my life, every single aspect, I always talk myself down, just in little ways. So if I'm telling someone about my band is like pretty extreme metal. So I'll say, well, it's quite noisy. Or I auditioned for the Odd Objects Nature Walk UK. The first thing I say is, I'm Danny Curtis. I am a C+ strongman. Like not even B-, like straight in with a C+. So it's sort of acknowledging that and trying to work through it and trying to be a bit more kind to myself. Because there's a competition coming up in December, which Ash is putting on. It's a lightweight masters competition, which I could potentially do well in, but I'd already kind of written myself off. So it's just sort of working through that, or, you know, realizing that was a bit of a low, or sort of living through it was the low, but acknowledging it and trying to work through it will hopefully turn it into a high.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you think you've always been like that then? Like, has that just been a mentality that you've always sort of had?
Yeah. Like we kind of traced it all the way back to secondary school. Like my group of friends at secondary school, there's only one person that I talk to from secondary school who I'm actually in a band with today. And she asked, why is it you speak to this one guy and not any of your other friends from school? And it's because we all used to bully each other. Like we were the only kids in the school that liked alternative music. It was a village secondary school. So it was kind of, if you weren't friends with each other, you had no one. but we were just relentless to each other every single day. And there's one guy that I still talk to. I just kind of say, oh, well, he never really joined in with the bullying. So that's why I still speak to him. And that's
He's
why I
a
don't
real
speak.
friend.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very embedded in there and has been for like 25 years, which is weird. But yeah.
What are some things that you've been doing then to try and like combat that like negative self-talk?
So I've got given like different exercises, so sort of acknowledging that negative self-talk can happen and sort of trying to balance it with more reasonable responses. Like this competition in December, saying to myself, I won't do very well. I was like, well, no, I can rep every event. Like, I am not very good at overhead. I'm not confident at overhead, but this competition, I am actually trying to decide my strategy, whether I'm going to push press or split jerk, and whether I'm going to do both, push press for a bit and then split jerk. I've never been in a competition where I've felt I've had that choice. So that's a pretty cool thing. So even though I'm like, oh, but everybody else might get 100 reps and I might get 7, like, still, like that's pretty cool. So yeah, just sort of acknowledging that the negative self-talk can happen, but also I've been keeping a confidence log as well on my phone. So just any little things, just any little confidence boost, just writing them down, and yeah, that's nice as well.
Nice. To be fair, Amelia is absolutely sound, isn't she? She's sponsored me for like mindset coaching and stuff, and like every session I've had with her, she's so helpful. But I think like from what you're saying as well, something that someone told me once, I can't remember where I've heard it from or whatever, but it was like if you talk to yourself like you would talk to like your friend, because you'd never say the stuff that you'd say to yourself to like a mate, would you? And then if you sort of reframe it a bit like that, you're like, actually, I am harsh as fuck on myself. Like, there's no need for this at all. And it can just thinking like, would I say this to a mate? No, probably not. Can just like shift that mindset slightly, can't it?
Yeah, and I mean the job that I do, I'm a full-time personal trainer. Like my role is to help people see things that they can't see in themselves, and like see how strong they are, see how good they are at something, and encourage them and push them and just help them see that. But I don't do that to myself.
Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, fully.
No, very insightful. Thank you for that. Andrew, what's been your strong man low?
I was thinking about 2. I'm going with one that's a bit more pathetic and is probably a bit more deep. And Ash can take the piss as much as he likes, but so mine is related to probably about a year after I started Strongman, so around 2020. And I've always struggled a little bit with some form of, I don't know if it's even a real thing, but bigorexia, and never being big enough. And to me, I guess there's some kind of toxic masculinity embedded in there, that being big and muscular was what was required to be a man. And unless I was big and strong, then I'm not man enough. And what was a real low for me was 5-6 years ago, and kind of leading up to that, and overeating to put on weight. And I was just in this horrible mindset where I was just kind of looking in the mirror and just not happy with how I looked. And it was actually what started for me my journey to the under 80s. I wasn't massive. I was 95 kilo, but I just kind of said to myself, I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm going to enter in Britain's under 80 21 and just I want to be comfortable. I want to be happy. And it kind of started this journey of just focusing on getting stronger and focusing on being more athletic and just being happier and less bothered
Yeah.
about trying to constantly be as big and heavy as I can.
Yeah. Do you think that's what got you into like strongman at the beginning then, as like starting the sport, is getting like massive?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I just wanted to be bigger and stronger than everybody else. And now I still like being stronger than everybody else, but I'm just the kind of physical size just does not interest me at all.
Yeah, I think that's a super interesting point, and I think that's also a really good point for why weight class strongman is so important, because it shows that like you don't have to be this massive, big genetic freak, mass moves, mass type thing to be a strongman. You can be under 70 kilos, under 80 kilos, under 90 kilos, and still be a strong man.
No, it always makes me laugh when I'm seeing people. It's almost like a bragging about how much weight they've got to cut for a competition, and then how much weight that they are putting back on for the day of the competition, and it just doesn't interest me. I'm quite happy. Like I'm 84 kilo at the minute. I'll diet down to 82, do the world's smallest water cut, and then probably come into my next competition the day of the comp at 81, and
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I don't need
Yeah.
to be kind of bragging about who's the heaviest.
Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. I think that mindset shift as well is like super important, of not having that ridiculous like I need to be so much heavier, even if you are in a weight class, to then lose all that weight drastically, regain it before the comp day, because it doesn't really help at the end of the day. Like I don't feel like it's beneficial in any way whatsoever, is it? What do you think was like? So was it just the sort of being unhappy with the way that you looked that made you go, right, that's it, I'm going to start dropping down to under 80?
A bit of both. I think it was this kind of realization that with the mindset I had, I was just never ever going to be happy with how I looked. And I just wanted to, and I know it's why I say it's a bit pathetic, because I know it's like true for pretty much everybody that looks in the mirror. Nobody's ever really happy with themselves. But it was me just kind of going, I just want to give my attention to something else. My focus now is getting stronger, and my performance in competitions. How I look is just, it doesn't matter to me, doesn't matter to anybody else. It's just not important.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that. And I do think as well, you could take a leaf out of Danny's book there, because I don't think it's pathetic at all. There was very harsh self-talk there, Andrew. We're all being nice now. This is the nice part of the podcast where we're nice to each other. So no, I don't think it's pathetic. I think it was a really valid point, and thank you for sharing. It's been very insightful. So thanks.
And if this was our podcast, like all the talk of not being big enough, we'd mention Andrew's python, and that would make him feel a bit better, I think.
23
Can I just
minutes
clarify?
we managed to get in before we got python jokes. Brilliant. Thanks, Danny. That was the end of the serious part.
Speechless.
I hope your strongman low's not too serious, Ash.
I have to admit, I did feel bad for taking the mick out of Andrew there, because that was quite deep. And I did this because I thought he was going to mention his bloody broken finger at UK. That's what got him out of UKNS, the UK's a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look, for me, I think it may be a bit obvious, but it's when I did my knee. Because yeah, I suppose a bit more to it. It was just I went into that BNSF UK's right when that was probably still the main natural pathway, and then obviously natural has sort of completely taken over. And it was a set of events that were great for me, you know, considering I'm not great at a lot of events, but there are some things I'm good at. It was just a great set of events for me. And event one, Dinny Stones, I'd had a couple of sessions with Chloe, and I felt pretty confident. I think I'd done a 280 or 290 with her. I was like, yeah, right, let's go for it. And that 340 would have been, I think, about an event win or there or thereabouts. And so obviously ACL snapped, meniscus was ruined. And It's actually really the months afterwards when it was more the lowest point, because I soon realised I've gone through 34 years or something, pretty much do anything I wanted to do physically. I've done half marathons, I do these endurance events, strongman. I think one weekend I did a 10K and a strongman in the same weekend. Never really got injured apart from the odd niggle. And then suddenly it was like, I can't even walk properly. I can't jog on the beach. Me and my daughter have this sort of ritual where every time we get to a beach, we'll do a run along it. And I had a good year and a half where I couldn't even do that. It's actually, that was probably the lowest point, is that those months afterwards, and then rehabbing the knee and probably just realizing you're mortal, aren't you? At the end of the day, you're not going to be injury free and sort of live forever. And
Yeah.
it was definitely very hard at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we all say, anyone that's had a serious injury, I think we've all had the odd person that goes, "Oh, you never do that again. You'll never be back to what you was." But generally, have people saying that, and you start to believe it. You start to believe that, because you're thinking, well, maybe they know what they're on about.
Yeah.
And really, it's just that probably that it's more of an issue with them rather than me, because I just sort of kept chipping away at the rehab and eventually got there. So, yeah.
100%. Yeah, it's a weird, getting like a big injury like that is so weird, and I do agree with you. It's the months afterwards that are usually the worst. Like, the injury obviously sucks and it hurts and it's painful and that, but it's the months following it. And I think as well, like when I did my bicep, I like had loads of people messaging me about it. It was really busy. And then about 3 weeks later, you sat on your own, you still can't use your fucking arm properly. And you're like, wow, this is shit and no one cares. And
Yeah.
I'm never going to get back to strongman. And that, like, it's a really shit realization and place to be in, isn't it? And it takes like not just the rehab work to get back from the physical injury, but like the mental side of it to like keep pushing through that. Cause you're like, there is parts where you just think, what the fuck is the point in this? And like, it's really hard to get through those points, isn't it?
I mean, sometimes you're just scared to do everyday tasks because you think, oh, if I get up off this bit too fast, the sofa or something, in those first few weeks when your leg's in a brace and that, you're going to slip and twist and snap it all again, and
Yeah.
all kinds of other bits and pieces, changing the plates for a client in the gym while you're still hobbling around. And you have to drop this and, oh, that's it, I'm done again. And you was living your life in a bit of fear, which is, again, something I'd never really had.
Yeah. 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 100%. I can relate to that 100%. Every time I remember picking up the kettle with my arm, like the first time I actually used my arm,
Yeah.
I picked up the kettle and instantly I was like, I'm going to snap my bicep. And I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
it's
what
a
I mean. You just
fucking
think you
kettle.
are. Yeah. Yeah. You think the littlest things, it's just going to go again.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you find like working through that fear? Like when you started returning to like training and going back to the gym, how did you find like that process?
Honestly, I don't even think I felt back to a normal self mentally until I did that stone.
Really?
Yeah. And that was 23 months after surgery.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Even,
It's a long time.
yeah, just like if I did stones in training, obviously, because we've seen, obviously, people get injuries with stones. I bowled doing a 130. I hadn't even touched the. People kept saying, try doing the dinnies again just to get over that mental block. And I didn't until about 2 weeks ago, and that was 160, let alone 340. Because I didn't want to go near them. But yeah, no, generally it took until doing that, relatively heavy stone, until I was gone. Your knee's fine. Stop pissing about and let's get back to it now.
Yeah, class. It does. It just takes a long time, and I think as well, especially in this world of social media that we're in, where everyone is always like, I've come back from this injury." Like you've got your Luke Richardsons who have a surgery in the back 4 months later and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
that's not the average like story that. And also, I think as well when people post that, I'm a bit like, come on, like all you're doing is you're doing that for clout. Like you're not doing it to make everyone feel better. You're doing it to make everyone feel shitter.
Yeah, you know what?
I guess when you're watching people's journeys online as well, it's natural that most people only post the highs, and you're like, I feel like Josh Lancaster. I feel like he's gone from full rehab to, I'm sure he was posting like yesterday that he was doing 260 for reps. I was like, deadlift. I was like, how the hell has he done this? And on the outside looking in, when you're just seeing the highlights on Instagram, it looks like it's been no time at all. But I'm not living his life, and I'm not with him every day. But it's been a mad, painful, long process to get there.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly right. You're just getting the highlights on social media, aren't you? And you can't comparing your like journey from an injury back into the sport is not going to do you any good. Like moving forward towards anyone else. I know that when I did my bicep, I was constantly asking people like, "Oh, how long did it take you? How long did it take you?" And when
I was doing
people
that.
hurt
Yeah.
their biceps, that's the first thing people ask me. They're like, "Oh, how long did it take you to rehab it?" And like now, I'm just like, it takes as long as it takes, mate. Like it's going to be
Yeah.
different for every single person. That doesn't make you worse at it or better at it. Like it's just individual, isn't it?
When I was researching coming back, I watched this video, this basketball player, a girl, and she did this whole documentation of from when she did it, surgery to coming back and playing. And she had like millions of views. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do that. So I had the surgery, and in the end, I just couldn't be asked to do it because I just didn't want people to know how much I was struggling. Like she was videoing herself hobbling around and needing help, like going to the bathroom or something silly like that. Well, I don't want people to see me doing all that. And that idea just went completely out the window because I just weren't really in that mental space to do it. Whereas, props to this girl. She seemed to enjoy the kind of, I suppose, the clout that she was getting for this sort of comeback, I guess. But
yeah,
everyone's different.
100%. I feel like I was really the same. I filmed a bit of my like recovery and rehab, but I didn't film anywhere near the amount I had planned in my head. So like I was like, nice one. I'm going to use this. It's going to be all my content. Like it's going to be mint. And literally every day I woke up and I thought, I can't be asked to do that. I don't want people to like see how I'm doing because it's not great. Like it's not going well.
No, I think it's got to be a certain type of person to want to do that. It was just, fine for them, but definitely weren't for me. I think I tore my ACL part 1 video on YouTube to try and start doing it. And then there was never a part 2 or 3 or anything.
Part 1, that's enough. No more.
I thought,
the
I can't be
ACL
asked to
never
carry on with
returns.
this. No.
Fair enough. Well, now when people ask, you can just send them to this podcast and they can listen and find out about your ACL journey. So
that's it. Yeah.
So I've done it now. It's reflective. Lovely. Right. Well, that was very insightful. Thank you for all being semi-serious for that 15 minutes that we had there. So the next question, this is the last actual set question before we move on to the final part of the podcast, is what would you say to yourself when you first started the sport? So we'll start again with you, Danny, if that's all right.
Hello. Well,
is that what you'd say?
Yeah.
Hello there.
Hello, future me.
Well, one thing I'd say for absolutely certain is whatever you're doing deadlifting, never stop doing what you're doing, because my God, I can't deadlift anywhere like I used to be able to. It was a competition, the second competition I ever did. I did a 220 kilo deadlift for 4 reps, and I chose to stop because I didn't want to tire myself out for the rest of the competition. I didn't really know how to strategize for a competition or whatever. And I'll be damned if I could do that again. Right. But
Just
no,
keep deadlifting then.
yeah. I'd like to have found the sport earlier, because I started training in 2011 after my little brother beat me in an arm wrestle, and we were in Australia after a few beers
He was
around my
8.
cousin's house. He's 7 years younger than me, so he was very young.
You were 15.
And so I started weight training in some form or fashion. My early muse was this mate that I still speak to from school, and I've realised soon after that he knows dick all about lifting weights, but he was the one that was teaching me. But I tried a couple of things. Like I tried CrossFit for a bit because I liked the idea of lifting heavy, but didn't lift heavy often enough. So I knew that was a non-starter. And yeah, I didn't find strongman until 2019, really. So yeah, it'd be nice to have found it earlier because like a lot of people, I assumed you needed to be a 6'7", 200 kilo giant. Yeah.
So you would say to yourself when you started strongman, you should have started this earlier. That is your message to yourself, is it?
Yeah. What are you doing it now for?
Use this time machine. I've just come back in to go back in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Help.
You travel back. You travel back to 2011.
So is your message essentially, don't bother, it's too late?
Well, I mean, did you not catch what I was saying earlier? That's how I feel. No.
That's how I feel. No, I totally agree that I feel like everybody in this sport, I don't think, apart from obviously the children who are in it now, everybody who's in the sport, like over the age of, say, probably 30 is saying, I should have fucking started this sooner. I should have started this sooner. But again, what I think is important is putting stuff out like this, like podcasts and promoting the sport and all that sort of stuff so that you can push it out to people so they can find it sooner. It's almost like it's too late for us, so we'll try and help you.
To be honest, I'm not sure what state the weight class world of strongman was in 2011. Like,
I don't feel like it was a thing.
No.
I thought you could have won a title.
And that was about it.
Could have been just you.
Oh, that would have been perfect. That's it.
Well, we never know. There's always a chance. There's always new things coming up. You might be the first for something else. Never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
I'm waiting for the first lightweight masters named Danny championships of the world. Still come
forth all the
forth.
time. Tell him. Get him on it.
I'd love
Bless
it.
him. I think Ash has tried a couple of times to not necessarily organize competitions in my favor, but there were a couple that I've entered where Ash is like, yeah, you'll do really well. You do really well. And it's like a 50-50. Some events do well in and some events just absolutely not.
I did remember putting a lot of thought into the strongest lightweights, the last one you did. And I thought, dumbbell, I think Danny's all right at that because he's not great at overhead, but dumbbell, and grip's good and all this kind of stuff. And I was really rooting for him the whole time. And it didn't pan out, did it, mate?
To be fair, grip's all right. I came second in the Saxon bar.
Well, that's what
holds,
I mean. I know your grip was good. Yeah.
But that's the most fucking boring event. Like you can't exactly put that on a highlight reel. Like, check this out. A minute of me standing still.
I think that's probably the worst event I've put on.
I can't believe that Ash has just pretty much admitted to trying to make a competition for you to win, Daddy, and then you've told him that one of the events was the most boring event that's ever been done.
I know.
Oh no, it's boring to watch. Like, it was fine doing it.
The atmosphere was a bit flat during the Saxon bar hold, wasn't it? To be fair.
any type of hold, I feel like. I mean, we did that silly goose hold at Walsingham show, and they were holding stuffed geese with hammers inside of them, and like I thought that was going to be hilariously funny, and the crowd was just deadpan as fuck. It did not go down how I had hoped. Hold events are just shit, aren't they? Shit and boring. Get them out of strongman.
Yep.
But anyway,
not the best.
Andrew, what would you say to yourself when you first started the sport?
Mine would be, and I still struggle with this a little bit, but stop taking it so seriously. Just, you're doing it like nobody's forcing you to do strongman. You're doing it because you want to do it. So just remember that and enjoy it more. And I think that's true for both the training and the competitions.
Yeah, 100%. Josh Lancaster had shared something on his story today that was like the definition of a hobby. And like, it was something like we do for fun. And like, it is so easy to get carried away in this sport and it not be fun.
That's what's kind of formed my answer. It reminded me seeing that earlier today. Sorry. Ruthie is very excited.
Not professional at all. Our dog shut away in the utility room.
My
She's
dog
so
is asleep in
excited by
front
your
of me.
Apologies.
Really, of all the people that should have dog problems on this podcast, it should be me because I've got 6 downstairs.
6?
Wow.
Just really like
Apologies.
It sounds like heaven.
It is.
Look at that. We've all got dogs. That must be why we get on. Dog people.
Obviously.
The
All
best.
dog people, yeah. Yeah, I don't trust people who say they don't like dogs instantly. It's the way to make me be like,
right with them.
we're probably never going to be friends.
No. Something not right with people, I'd say that.
No, but going back to Andrew's point, yeah, I do totally agree that when we say this a lot on the podcast, like it's brought up quite regularly in this section that just don't take yourself too seriously. Chloe Brennan does quite a lot on it where like no one fucking cares. No one cares how well you're doing or no one cares what you're doing. And if you're not enjoying it, then it's sort of no point in doing it.
Just stop, do something else. I never really buy this whole discipline over motivation kind of thing. It's just, if you're not motivated to be hitting your goal, change your goal. Like, just do something else. Pick a different sport. Don't do a sport. Just, like, nobody's forcing you to do strongman.
Yeah, 100%. No, I totally agree. And I love that. I think it's super important. And I think when you realise that in this sport, it makes the sport so much more enjoyable. Like I've had this year where I've sort of just gone, nah, I'm not taking strongman seriously anymore. And I've enjoyed it so much more than I have done in previous years. So it's definitely worth just not taking it as seriously. Awesome. Ash, what would you say to yourself when you first started the sport?
Don't bother.
Similar to Danny then.
My serious answer it's funny because it's almost, I wouldn't say the opposite to Andrew, but sort of. It's actually to be or take it a little bit more seriously. But I'll explain. So I signed up to my first comp on 2 weeks' notice at Serious Strength Gym, Dean Madden's place in 2017. I didn't even know it was an under 90s or something, and I thought, I didn't even know you could do sport, strongman, lighter categories. I just thought, like everyone else, it's just the big lads. And I barely done any kind of strength training. I just knew I could lift a bit, and I did all right. I think I was like 6th or something out of about 15 guys, and I thought, this is all right. I'm gonna be brilliant at this, easy. So I did bits and pieces of training. I then never did any proper training blocks and proper programming. I'd do a bit of deadlifting one day, and then I'd do some runs, and I'd do this, do that, and then I might deadlift again a couple of weeks later. And then I started entering other comps thinking, well, I must be all right. I come 6th in that first one. And I wasn't. I kept finishing near the bottom. And it was only when we were all locked down, and I was having to do like fitness workouts in the garage for clients and stuff. What I really missed was strength training. And so then when we could all get back in the gym a bit more and what have you, and competition started, I thought, no, I'm just going to focus on doing strongman properly. I'm going to do proper training plans, and started actually doing it a lot better. So I wish I'll probably go back and just say, not take it seriously in like a negative way, but just knock some of the other stuff on the head and train a little bit more structured, and you probably do a lot better than you did in those first 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
That's really what I'd probably say.
Yeah. Yeah, just focusing on one goal, I think, as well. Like, it's interesting that you've both sort of got opposing points on that, but I do agree with both of them. And I think depending on like your personality type and how you take this hobby and take this sport on board is how you're going to react to whether you do take it super seriously or whether you don't take it that seriously to start off with. Because I know, like, for me personally, when I got into the sport, I got obsessed instantly. I was like, man, I'm going to be world's strongest woman. That's it. Like, I don't care about anything else. And that lasted all of maybe 2.5 years until the wheels started falling off. And I was like, wow, this is really fucking hard. I can't do it like this. Like, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I had to take that more laid back approach. But I do get what you're saying. Like, it is one of them where you can just dip your toe in a little bit and piece here and there as well as a sport. But then that doesn't really always result into good results. And if you're a competitive person, that's the thing that's going to keep you in the sport and keep you enjoying it.
I mean, I still still really enjoy the sport and try not to take it. It's weird what I'm saying or trying to say here. Like what Andrew was saying is take it not as serious to where you're enjoying the competition and like you say, you can always do something else. What I'm trying to say is be a little bit, I'd have been a little bit more serious in, just the sort of training side of it, like I am now, but then I go to competitions and it's all about enjoying it then. Because I didn't enjoy, 2 years after starting the strongman and the deadlift was like the same when I was finishing last in it, because like you say, I'm just naturally a competitive person. So, a lot of waffle there, a lot of waffle and rambling, but I'm trying to get my point across without trying to say be dead serious, I just mean pick a goal and stick with it.
Yeah, it's like, don't take the sport too seriously, but also treat the sport with respect. Give it the respect and the seriousness that it deserves.
Probably describes what I'm trying to say there a lot better. Thank you very much, Becca. Thank you.
We got there in the end.
Christ.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. It's been very insightful, guys, and it's not been too chaotic, I don't think. I feel probably differently when I'm trying to edit this later, but it's actually been all right. So we'll move on to the final part of the podcast, everybody's favourite, the silly goose.
Silly goose. It's silly goose time, where our lips get loose and our minds run free. Silly goose. It's silly goose time, where we chat a load of shit that's of absolutely no use. It's silly goose time.
So, does anybody have a silly goose they would like to bring to the table? I feel like I'm already regretting asking this question.
Yes. So on our podcast, the KLC Strongcast, new episodes every Wednesday on Spotify and Apple something or other. We get people asking us questions. And there was one question we got asked sometime, I couldn't even tell you when. It might have even been last year. I've changed it ever so slightly. I've made it a bit slightly different. Would you rather every 100 blinks? Do you two remember this one?
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Every
this is
100
a respectable,
blinks.
proper podcast. You can't. I don't know. If
It's
you
a
can
silly
do this.
goose. Every 100 blinks, either a random mammal will appear and try to get frisky with you. That's the change. When we got asked, it was a gorilla.
And it wasn't the word frisky.
But I'm thinking just a random mammal. So it could be an elephant. It could be a squirrel. It could be,
In Andrew's words, he could make love to you.
Yeah, make love. Or every 100 blinks, you transport and you're naked on a school bus. That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
I think it was, yeah.
Fair, yeah. So you
blimey.
kind of looked a bit of a weirdo.
I know that you hate follow-up questions, but just one. Is the school bus occupied?
Yes, with children.
Oh, that was a good
Yeah,
question.
I'm picking the mammal. Children are brutal, man. Children are so fucking rude. Like, they'd rip you immediately.
See-
My mental health wouldn't cope with that.
So you're less worried about the potential prison sentence and more worried about just what the children will say and think.
Absolutely, I am. Yeah. Have you ever been with children for an extended
Not
period
naked,
of time?
no.
It's awful. I fucking
Do you know,
hate it.
Becca, I
This
haven't.
is why I'm never having kids. Yeah, no, fuck them kids. Nah, I'd always pick the mammal. I've got
Well,
a chance
no, I'd
wouldn't
phrase
say
that
that.
differently, just given the question.
Better
But-
chance of beating an animal off me than dealing with the mental load of children ripping me for the rest of my life. Nah.
Because I was
take the mammal.
just walking up the garden and I was thinking like, yeah, every 100 blinks like could be a squirrel, could be a dolphin. So you'd be absolutely fine. It'd just appear, flop on the floor, try and get you. But what's a dolphin going to do?
Kick
So
it away
you could
off
be
you.
all right, or it could be like a lion or a tiger or something that's just proper coming at you.
Yeah, that would be trickier. I've usually always got a knife pretty handy though, so like,
Oh,
problem
blimey.
solved.
Okay.
I'm an
I could
outdoorsy
just
person. I live
imagine
on a farm.
Becca, you know, like Rambo when he's just picking his nails with this massive knife, just as she's talking to you in the gym. Always got something.
It's like Frank off of Always Sunny. I've got a toe knife. Only people who watch Always Sunny will get that reference. But
Yeah, it is fine.
No.
Andrew doesn't get any references.
No.
no, he just makes up his own.
I've got a
that-
question.
Go on then.
Oh. I've been saving this question for this pod.
I'm really excited. Tell me the silly goose question.
So, do you think
Oh my
How do you
God.
get through these podcasts?
Through Danny's
I
amazing
saw this on
editing.
Instagram recently? So, do you think that you've shit in more than 415 toilets in your lifetime?
No.
Yes,
Oh, interesting. A no and a yes.
definitely.
You've shit in
100%.
more than 415 different toilets.
Yeah,
your life.
100%. I used to travel loads. When I was younger, I was like ski
What,
instructing all
shit
over
everywhere?
the place. Well, I was pooing, yeah. You can't not do that. I wasn't going away ski instructing and be
You
like,
flying
I'll wait
home
till I
every
get home
day.
for this shit. 4 months. What's the worst that can happen? Yes, definitely. 100%. What do you guys think?
Well, Ash's gone no, quite strong, passionately
Well,
there.
considering
so-
my story last week was literally I pedalled about 3 miles home just to go at home rather than at my mate's place and then fail at the last second.
Yeah, to be fair, if you're a nervous pooer though, and you don't want to poop anywhere else but your own home, then maybe you wouldn't have. But I definitely have.
I just don't think
No,
I've been
no
to
shame,
450
no
places.
shame to the nervous poopers out there. But yeah, no, 415. It's probably in the thousands, surely.
Thousands.
I've
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
thanks. Christ.
I've been alive a lot longer than you two.
You're shitting
three.
here, there, and everywhere. Have you made it your life same?
Are we counting shits not in a toilet as well? Like I know it's different toilets, but is it just different areas or is it just
Well,
toilets?
Yeah, I love the follow-up question. So yeah, why not? It's every different place that you've had a shit. It sounds
then
like Danny's
come
made it his
on.
life aim to shit as many
How many
places as he can.
He's got a little map on the wall where he's got a little pin, like a different countries and places that he's managed to. Yep, I've covered that place.
Well, yeah, I've been obviously all around the UK, Europe, America,
It's not
Australia.
thousands though, surely. Like that's an insane amount of shit.
I mean,
That you've dotted
What's your
about.
answer, Andrew? What's your answer to the question?
Well, I think it's a very good number that's been put there because I'd probably say I'd probably around
exactly
415.
415.
Yeah, I'm probably about to. I could never know. I'm probably about to go over the edge. I might go have a shit somewhere this week that I've never shit before, and that could be my 416th.
And what do you think is going to
We'd
happen? Do you
never
reckon that
know.
like the light's going to come down and Jesus will appear in front of you? Well done, my son.
No, that's it. He's
crossed the
gonna
threshold.
just close up, and that's it.
That'll be the last
No
one.
No more.
shits.
Oh,
No
is this
more
a limit?
Yeah, that's it.
Using
No
the
more.
toilet limit.
It's going to start coming out the top.
Oh,
Already does. It already
no.
does.
no.
I've heard this as a story for ages, and do you know what? I think it is actually true that you can, if you don't poo enough, like you get really constipated, it will come back up. I've heard this. I feel like I've had it confirmed by medical professionals. That's a thing. Because for ages I was like, that can't be real, but I think it is.
I think you can. I mean, me and Danny see it pretty much every Tuesday when we're recording the pod from someone.
I love how it took no time at all. I like the last podcast because I like a bit of shit talk. I think it's hilarious, and not enough people talk about poo, especially girls. Girls can talk about poo too, and it's funny, but people just don't like doing it. And I think poo talk's always funny. It's never not funny.
I think everyone's got a story and they're just not willing to tell it.
Exactly. Everyone's got an embarrassing shit story, but we won't go into that.
No,
'cause people have
hold
to
on.
listen to your
No. Now
podcasts.
you've already said it now. So what's yours?
No.
yeah.
We
That's
shared ours
Danny,
last
that's-
week. You must have one.
I actually don't know. I've had a lot of like embarrassing shit stories, but I can't think of one in particular. I've been nearly caught multiple times having poos outside in the open. That
What?
is
Oh
that,
dear.
Multiple
Yeah, just like-
times.
well, just
Where are
like
you
when
doing them?
No, like when you're out on a walk or something, and you're just like, oh, we've been camping or something. You're camping, and you go outside, and you're just in
That's
the
not
woods
what
trying to hide for a poo, and then you
There's
hear
a-
someone rustling behind you, and you're like,
There's a
oh,
difference
in a
between.
compromised position.
I get needed a poo when you're camping, but not if you're just going out for a walk. You make it sound like you've gone to walk the dog. Your dog's having a shit, and then you've gone, well, why not? If everyone else is.
5 minutes from
And
home.
again, you have-
I'll just do it here.
I think you have context.
I wanna
to this
get my
as well, 'cause
numbers up.
I don't live in a town. I don't live in a town or a village. I live in the middle of nowhere, so I can just walk outside if I wanted to and have a
And
shit down the
shit?
field. It wouldn't matter, yeah. But
Is this
obviously I
what
don't
everybody
do that.
does?
But in villages, yeah. Yeah, I grew up in a village. We did it all the time. Knock on your friend's door. What you up to? Oh, let's go for a shit down the field.
What, together?
Yeah, holding hands. Perched over a
That
branch
is
over
you
the brook.
better.
Yeah.
I grew up. I lived
Sheltered
in,
life,
I
Andrew.
can't. No, I grew up for a few years in the
Civilised.
countryside, and honestly, not once did I ever have a shit just out on a walk.
Yeah, but if you've been outside all day, like if you're going outside for a full day doing stuff, like you're in the middle of nowhere, you can't go just randomly find a toilet. Like I've got, to be honest, not shitting, but weeing, I've got really good at just doing a stealthy, tactical wee anywhere pretty much. Because like the amount of times you get caught out, and especially as a girl, it's much harder. I can't just stand up. You got to find somewhere to squat, so you got to be shifty with it. It's a skill, a learned skill. Anyway, that really digressed fast, didn't it? So I had one final, my silly goose question for you. It was one I did on TikTok the other day. It's another would you rather, so I apologise already. Would you rather wear a T-shirt that said, ask me about my python? I've changed it slightly to fit with the mood of the podcast. But when you wear that T-shirt, you have to wear it one day a month. And when you wear that T-shirt, at least 3, if not more, reptile experts will come up to you and ask you about your python. You don't own one, so you will have to have that awkward conversation with them. Or for 1 full week of every month,
Christ.
you have to wear a pair of knee-high blue socks with pythons on them. And you can't hide them. You can't put your trousers over them. You have to wear shorts. They have to be on view for the full week, no matter what's going on in your life.
Follow-up question.
How have you got a follow-up question to that? I feel like I've
There's so
explained
much
it so
detail.
much.
Am I Am I allowed to wear anything else, or am I only wearing the knee-high
Oh,
socks?
God's sake.
No, you can wear
Yes.
other clothes, but you can't cover the socks. The socks have to be
Okay.
on show.
As long as I don't have to be naked, apart from
No,
the
you
socks,
can wear
that's
other
fine.
clothes.
Okay. I'm going for the socks. I think
they've
they
got,
sound
they've got to
cool.
be on for
What
the
if you-
entire week, like sleeping in the lot.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what, like, imagine if you had, like, a wedding to go to, or,
No, to be honest, I'm
I
going for
don't
the
know,
first
a
one.
funeral. That's even worse. Imagine if
Yeah.
there was a funeral and that was the week that you were wearing the socks,
Yeah, I'm going for the first one.
the T-shirt.
Yeah.
I
with
feel
the
like I'd
python.
have a
mean-
lot of fun with these reptile experts coming up to me and asking about the python. I'd just talk nonsense. Yeah.
suppose-
So it's the same one that was in that film with Jennifer Lopez. You know, I'll just make up stuff.
That's an anaconda, though. That's
But it doesn't
different to a
matter because I'm
python.
not an expert. They are, and then they go like, "What's he on about?" And I'm getting confused, and I'll just mess with them. I'd
You could
enjoy
treat
it.
it like
I'd
a-
enjoy it.
You could treat it like a.
What was
What was
that?
That's a chair. Sorry.
You could treat it like a Groundhog Day sort of thing, where you just learn loads of stuff about pythons over the years that you're
No,
wearing this
I wouldn't
T-shirt.
bother. No, I'll just mess with them and just
Yeah,
like,
sounds
sound
boring.
like an idiot. I can't wear socks, same pair of socks for the
You
whole
can't
week.
wear socks.
I'm more of a socks off man kind of guy.
Oh.
Oh God. Oh God. Well, we've lost it now. We've got into the realms of we
Terrible.
can't bring this podcast back. So
Terrible.
thank you very much, everybody, for being on. Obviously, you guys will want to plug the KLC Strongcast. So if you want to plug that again, Danny, go right ahead.
No, I think
Don't
Andrew
mention
should
plugs.
plug it this time.
Don't mention plugs.
So mention
Andrew, go and get your range of plugs out to show Becca.
No thanks.
What's
Well,
the matter with
I
you?
thought you had
To be fair, I think I've done pretty good not to call Andrew King Keys this entire podcast. I've held back until this very moment. I got 59 minutes in before saying King Keys, so well done me.
I appreciate that. Well, no, actually, I don't. I quite like that nickname. Anyway, listen to the KLC Strongcast. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, and occasionally I get messages from random people telling me it's on like Amazon and everywhere. So listen to the podcast. You might enjoy it. You might not.
might. No, well, thank you very much for being on. It's been serious and insightful at times and also ridiculously silly, but it has been a pleasure. So thank you and hope you enjoyed it. We will see you all on the next one. Goodbye.
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 Thanks for listening to this episode of Strong Woman Highs, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support the podcast, then please give us a follow on Instagram. Or if you would like, we're also on buymeacoffee.com/strongwomanhighs. This is where you can send us tips, or you can also join our membership area, which is $5 a month or £4 a month. It's the silly Gosling level. We'll post out any extra content that we get on there, and hopefully a few little like free giveaways of things as well. The podcast currently doesn't cost a lot to run, which is what we're trying to keep it as, but we would like to be able to cover our costs, and also once those costs are covered, any profit that is made on Strong Woman Highs will be getting saved up and put into a pot for future Strong Woman competitions that we can sponsor. So if you have a Strong Woman competition that you'd like to be sponsored, or if you want to be on the podcast, then give us a shout, send me a message on Instagram or on YouTube, anywhere else you can get us, and we'll get it sorted, because the more women that we can get on, the better. Thanks for listening and watching. Bye!